Friends, video is too big. If you don't want to watch the full video, then go to the description below the video. There I have written all the chapters and timestamps of the video. Just click on the timestamps, then video will start from where you want to watch. This is Buri Critical Mahabharat book chapter 983. And if you want to see our previous videos, then click the channel name or picture below the video, then go to the video or playlist option. And friends, please press the red subscribe option and press the bell icon for my latest video updates. Sanjay said, and this is Dron Parva. Sanjay said Bharadwaja's Maharatha son became the commander, means Drona. He arranged the soldiers in the form of a vyuha and set out to do battle together with your sons. Sandhyava, Kalinga, and your son Vikarna were armored and stationed themselves on the right flank. Sakuni supported them with the best of horse riders and advanced with the warriors from Gandharva wielding polished lances. Kripa, Kritavarma, Chitrasena, and Vivinshati, with Dushasana at the forefront, advanced and protected the left flank. They were supported by the Kambojas with Sudakshina leading the way. They advanced on extremely swift horses together with the Shakas and the Yavanas, the Madras, the Trigartas, the Ambasthas, the residents of the west and the north, the Sibis, the Surasenas, the Shudras and Maladas, the Saviras, the Kitavas, and all those from the east and the south placed your son at the head, with the son of a Suta at the rear. They delighted all the soldiers and added force to the army. Vyakratana Karna advanced at the head of all the archers. His blazing standard was giant in size and delighted his own army. That giant standard was resplendent with the sign of a healthy elephant and dazzled like a sun. On seeing Karna, no one thought about the calamity consequent to Bhishma's downfall. All the kings, together with the Kurus, were freed from their grip. In joy, the large number of warriors began to converse with one another. On seeing Karna in battle, the Pandavas will not be able to remain on the field of battle. Karna is capable of vanquishing the gods together with Vashava. In battle, the sons of Pandu are inferior in bravery and valor. How can they remain in battle? The strong arm Bhishma saved the Parthas in the battle, but there is no doubt that Karna will destroy them with his sharp arrows. O Lord of the earth, in delight they spoke to each other in the way they honored and praised Radheya and advanced. Drona instructed that our vyuha should be in the form of a cart. O king, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the vyuha of the enemy was in the form of a curlew. Cheerfully, the great souled Dharmaraja instructed this. Those bulls among men, Vishwaksena and Dhananjaya with the monkey on the standard, were at the front of their vyuha. This was the hump of all the soldiers and the objective of all the archers. The infinitely energetic Partha standard fluttered in the path of the sun. It uh, illuminated the army of the great souled Pandava like the blazing sun on the earth at the end of a yuga. Arjuna is foremost among archers, Gandiva is supreme among bows, Vasudeva is supreme among beings, and Sudarshana is supreme among chakras. These four kinds of energy were borne by the chariot with white horses, and it stationed itself in front of the hostile army like the upraised wheel of time. Thus did the great souled ones stand in front of those powerful armies, Karna before yours and Dhananjaya before that of the enemy. There was enmity between them and they wished to kill each other in the battle. Karna and Pandava glanced towards each other. Bharadwaja's Maratha's son Drona powerfully advanced. There was dreadful lamentation, and the earth began to tremble. The wind raised a violent and terrible dust that was as tawny as silk. This covered the sky and the sun. Though there were no clouds in the sky, a shower of flesh, bones, and blood fell down. O king, thousands of vultures, hawks, wild crows, herons, and crows repeatedly swooped down on the soldiers. Jackals howled hideously, and many fearful creatures swooped down on their left side of your army, desiring to eat the flesh and drink the blood. Flaming and blazing meteors were seen to descend, covering the field of battle in every direction with their tails. They roared and caused a trembling. O king, when the commander of the army advanced, the gigantic solar disk thundered and seemed to emit lightning. There were many other fearful portents inauspicious for the warring heroes and signifying a destruction of lives. Thus, the battle between the Kuru and Pandava soldiers commenced, each side wishing to kill the other. The entire earth was full of that noise. The Pandavas and the Kauravas were extremely enraged. They grasped weapons and sought to kill each other with sharp arrows. The immensely radiant and great archer rushed towards the Pandava soldiers with great force, showering hundreds of sharp arrows. O king, on seeing Drona advance, the Pandavas and the Srinjayas countered him, separately showering arrows. That great army was agitated and shattered by Drona. The Panchalas were destroyed like a mountain by a storm. In a short instant, Drona unleashed many kinds of divine weapons in that battle and oppressed the Pandavas and the Srinjayas. With Drishtidumya at the forefront, the Panchalas were slaughtered by Drona and trembled. Like the Danavas before Vashava, the brave Maratha, uh, Yagnasena's son, skilled in the use of divine weapons, used showers of arrows to penetrate Drona's army in many places. Means Drishtidumya. He repulsed Drona's shower of arrows with several shower of arrows. The powerful one killed the Kuru soldiers. In the battle, the mighty armed Drona restrained his own soldiers and attacked Parshata. He released a great shower of arrows towards Parshata like the angry Madhavan forcefully attacking the Danavas. Drona's arrows made the Pandavas and the Srinjayas tremble. They were repeatedly roared like a like deer by lion. O king, the powerful Drona travelled through that army of the Pandavas like a circle of fire, and it was wonderful. His chariot was like a city in the sky, constructed by one conversant with sacred texts. The harnessed horses were controlled well. The standard fluttered in the wind. The pole of the standard was as bright as crystal, and he tormented the enemy with his arrows. He was astride that supreme chariot and slaughtered the soldiers of the enemy. Next chapter, Drona Parva 7. Sanjay said, on seeing Drona slaughter the horses, chariots, rathas, and elephants, the Pandavas were distressed and surrounded him. King Yudhishthira spoke to Drishtadumna and Dhananjaya, make endeavors to counter the one who was born from a pot and surrounded him. Arjuna and Pashatha with their followers surrounded him, together with all the Marathas, the Kakyas, Bhimsena, Subhadra's son, Ghatotkacha, Yudhishthira, the twins, means Nakul Sahadev, Subhadra's son means Abhimanyu, Matsya warriors, Drupada's son, Drishtadumna, Draupadi's cheerful sons, Drishtaketu, Satyaki, the enraged Chekitana, the Mahatha Yusu. O king, there were many other kings who followed the Pandavas in accordance with their lineage and their valor. They performed many deeds. On seeing that the army of the Pandavas was thus protected in battle, Bharadwaja's son glanced at them with anger in his eyes. He was stationed on his chariot, invincible in battle, and was overcome by terrible rage. He praised the Pandava army like the wind scattering clouds. He attacked the chariots, horses, men, and elephants in every direction. Though he was old, Drona roamed around like a mad young man. His horses were crimson in color and were as fleet as the wind. They were covered in blood. O king, those horses thus assumed a beautiful appearance. On seeing that angry one, rigid in his vows, descant like that, the Pandava warriors fled in every direction. Some fled in fright, others returned, some glanced at him, and an extremely dreadful noise arose, causing delight among brave ones and leading to fright among those who were cowards. This completely filled an space between the sky and the earth. Yet again Drona announced his name in the battle. He shot hundreds of arrows at the enemy and assumed a dreadful form. Though he was aged, the powerful Drona attacked like one who was young. The intelligent one was like that amidst the Pandava soldiers. The freeze one sliced off the heads and the arms with their ornaments. The Maharatha rendered the chariots empty and roared. O Lord, because of his roars of delight and because of the force of his arrows, the warriors trembled in the field of battle like cattle because of the winter. As a result of the roar of Drona's chariot, the stretching of his bowstring, and the sound of his bow, a great sound arose in the sky. Many thousands of arrows were released by him. They covered all the directions and descended on the elephants, the horses, and the chariots. His extremely forceful bow was like the fire with arrows as its flames. The Panchalas and the Pandavas attacked Drona, but he dispatched the Rathas, elephants, and horses to Yama's abode. In a short while, Drona covered the earth with the mud of blood. He showered supreme weapons and arrows in every direction. Drona covered the directions with his net of arrows and nothing could be seen. Foot soldiers, chariots, horses, and elephants were shrouded, and his standard could be seen roaming around like a cloud tinged with lightning. With the bow and arrows in his hand, Drona used arrows to penetrate the five brave ones from Kekeya and the king of Panchala and then attacked Yudhishthira's army. Bhimsena, Dhananjaya, Sini's grandson, Drupada's son, Shibi's son, the lord of Kashi and Sibi were delighted. They rode and covered him with a large number of arrows. They were assailed by arrows released from Drona's bow. These were colorful and gold tufted. They pierced the bodies of elephants and young horses and penetrated the ground. The tubes covered with blood. The earth was strewn with large number of warriors, chariots, elephants, and horses, mangled by the arrows. They fell down on the ground and looked like dark clouds in the sky. Desiring the prosperity of your sons, Drona crushed the armies of Shinis descended Bhima, Arjuna, Sibi, Abhimanyu, the king of Kashi, and many other brave ones in the battle. O Indra among Kauravas, the great souled one, performed these and many other deeds in the battle. O king, having scorched the world like the sun at the time of destruction, Drona went to heaven. On his golden chariot, the brave one killed hundreds and thousands of Pandava warriors in the battle and was brought down by Parshata. He killed more than 2 Akshohinis of brave ones who never retreated. After that, the wise one attained the supreme objective, O king. The one on the golden chariot performed extremely difficult deeds and was then killed by the Pandavas and the Panchalas. The performers of inauspicious and cruel deeds. O king, when the preceptor was killed in the battle, there was a roar among the beings in the firmament and also among the soldiers. This resounded in heaven, the earth, the sky, the directions, and the subdirections. A great sound of shame was heard among all the beings, the gods, the ancestors, and all those who were his relatives saw that Bharadwaja's Maratha's son was slain. Having obtained victory, the Pandavas roared like lions. The earth trembled because of that loud roar. Next, chapter 8. Dhritarashtra asked, how could the Pandavas and the Srinjayas kill Drona in battle? Among those who wielded all weapons, he was extremely skilled. Did he did his chariot break? When he was striking, did his bow shatter? Was Drona distracted, and was that the reason for his death? O son, how could Parshata slay him? He was incapable of being oppressed by enemies. He showered large number of gold tufted arrows. The foremost among Brahmanas possessed dexterity of hand. He was accomplished and colorful in fighting. He could shoot from a great distance. He had self control. He was skilled in war. The Maratha was undecaying and supreme. He was careful and performed terrible deeds in battle. It must be destiny that Panchala's son killed him. It is my view that it is manifest that destiny is superior to human endeavor. The brave Drona has been killed by the great soul Parshata. The four types of weapons were established in the brave one. The preceptor Drona knew supreme weapons and has been slain. He used to be on a golden chariot covered with the skins of tigers and decorated with pure gold. On hearing that he has been killed, I am now overcome with sorrow. O Sanjaya, no one dies because of the hardship that someone else faces. On hearing that Drona has been slain, I am dead. Through I am alive, my heart is made out of hard stone. Despite learning that Drona has been killed, it has not shattered into 100 parts. It was worshipped by Brahmanas and princes who desired the qualities of knowledge of the Brahman, the Vedas, and weapons. How could he have been taken away by death? This is like the ocean drying up, Mount Meru moving, or the sun falling down. I cannot tolerate Drona's downfall. He restrained the proud and protected those who followed Dharma. The scourger of enemies was prepared to give up his life to attain the objective of my wicked and evil sons. Their victory depended on his valor. He was the equal of Brihaspati and Ushanas in his intelligence. How could he have been killed? His large Sendava horses were crimson, they were garlanded in gold, they were fleet as the wind, as were yoked to his chariot, they were beyond the reach of all sounds of battle. They were powerful and knighted in joy. Those Sandhyabhyas were controlled and were trained in bearing. They were firm in the midst of battle and never suffered from distress or exhaustion. They withstood the trumpeting of elephants in battle and the sounds of conch shells and drums. They tolerated the twanging of bowstrings and the shower of arrows and weapons. They had conquered their breathing and had conquered pain, and they assured victory over the enemy. Those fleet horses quickly bore and chariot of Bharadwaja's son. How could they be overpowered? They were yoked to the golden chariot and controlled by the foremost of men. O son, how could they not cross the Pandava army? He was mounted on a supreme chariot decorated with pure gold. What feats did Bharadwaja's brave son not accomplish in war? He made warriors weep. All the archers in the world depended on his knowledge. Drona was devoted to the truth. He was powerful. What did he accomplish in battle? He was foremost among all the great ones who wielded the bow like Shakra in heaven. He was the performer of terrible deeds which Rathas countered him in battle. On seeing the one on the golden chariot, did the Pandavas run away? Unleashing divine weapons, did he destroy that inexhaustible army? Or did Dharmaraja, together with his younger brothers and with Panchala as the harness surrounded Drona by every direction with all the soldiers, did Partha restrain the Rathas with his arrows? Parshata, the performer of evil deeds, must have assailed Drona then. With the exception of Dishtidumya protected by the terrible Kiriti means Arjuna, I do not see anyone capable of killing the vigorous one. When the Kakeyas, the Chedis, the Kurushas, and the other kings surrounded and agitated the brave preceptor while he was performing a difficult deed like ants against the serpent, the wicked Panchala must have killed him then. This is my view. He studied the four Vedas and the fifth one about the accounts. He was the refuge of the Brahmanas like the ocean is of the rivers. How could the aged and powerful Brahmana have been killed through a weapon? He was intolerant and proud, through he obtained suffered on my account, through he did not deserve it. He reaped the fruits of his action through Konteya. All the wielders of the bow on earth depended on his deeds for their livelihood. He was devoted to the truth, he performed good deeds. How could he have been killed by those who desire prosperity? He was foremost, he was great, spirited, and extremely strong like Shakra in heaven. How could he have been killed by the Parthas like a whale by small fish? He was dexterous in the use of his hands, he was powerful, he was firm in wielding the bow, he was the destroyer of enemies. No one wishing to remain alive forced him on the field and remained alive. As long as he was alive, two sounds never left him, the sound of the Brahman boy, those who desired the Vedas, and the sound of the bowstring by those who wielded the bow. I cannot tolerate Drona being killed in battle. He was like the lion and the elephant in his valor, O Sanjaya. He was invincible. The fame of his strength was never assailed. Who protected the great souled one on the right flank and on the left. When he fought in the battle, which brave one was in front of him? Who were the brave ones who confronted him and gave up their lives, traversing the path of death? Who were the brave ones who faced Drona in battle and attained the supreme objective? O Sanjaya, even if one faces a great hardship, one must do one's duty in accordance with one's valor and one's capacity. All of this was established in him. My mind is distracted, O son. Let us stop for some time. O Sanjay, I will ask you again after I have regained my senses. So Sanjay was also present in Mahabharat war. Afterwards, Sanjay told everything to Dhritarashtra. Next chapter, chapter 9. Besampayana said, having asked the son of a Suta in this way, he was afflicted by terrible sorrow. Dhritarashtra lost all hope about his sons being victorious and fell down on the ground on seeing that he had lost his senses and had fallen down. The attendants sprinkled him with water. The water was extremely cold and was perfumed. They offended him, O great king. On seeing that he had fallen down, the women of the Bharata lineage surrounded him from every direction and gently rubbed him with their hands. They gently raised the king up from the ground with tears choking their throats. The beautiful woman placed him on his seat. Having attained his seat, the king was still not conscious. He was immobile. They stood around him and fended him. Having slowly regained his senses, the king trembled. He once again began to ask the Suta, Gabalgana's son, about what exactly had happened. He is like the rising sun. He can dispel darkness through his own light. When Ajatasattu advanced, how did Drona counter him? He is like an elephant shuttered temples. He is angry and swift. He is resplendent and single minded in purpose. He is incapable of being repulsed by a rebel. When he advanced for victory, like one who desires intercourse with a female, which brave warriors fought with that supreme of men in the field of battle. The mighty armed one is capable of consuming Duryodhana's entire army with his terrible glance. He was intelligent and is devoted to the truth. The supreme archer can destroy with his sight even if he is not protected and he is fixed on victory. He is self controlled and is rewarded by the entire world, which brave ones surrounded him. That undecaying king is supreme among archers and is difficult to resist. When Kaunteya, tiger among men, swiftly advanced and attacked Drona, who, won, who on my side countered him, which brave ones surrounded the advancing Bhimsena. Bibhutsu means Arjuna is extremely valorous. He rides on a chariot like is rides on a chariot that is like a dense cloud. He creates a tumultuous shower like thunder. He showers arrows like Magavan showering rain. The one with the monkey on his banner envelop, envelops the sky with his mass of arrows. All the directions resound with the clapping of his palms and the roar of his chariot wheels. The sound of his arrows makes him difficult to cross. His anger can thwart the clouds. His arrows are as swift as thought. His fierce arrows penetrate the inner organs. He floods the entire earth with blood, so that men find it difficult to traverse. In that battle, Duryodhana made endeavors and raised his terrible club. What did he do when Vijaya, means Arjuna, the wielder of Gandiva, used arrows sharpened on stone and tufted with the feathers of vultures? When the intelligent one did this and destroyed the army with the sound of Gandiva, what was his state of mind then? Arjuna performed terrible deeds and advanced uh, fiercely when Dhananjaya used his arrows to attack Drona. What did he do? He was like the wind scattering clouds or like a tempest destroying reeds. Which man can stand against a wielder of Gandiva in battle? Soldiers trembled and brave ones were touched by fear. Who were those who did not forsake Drona and who were the inferior ones who ran away? Who were the ones who gave up their lives and advanced towards death? Dhananjaya had vanquished superhuman combatants. Those on my side are incapable of withstanding the force of his white horses. Gandiva's noise is like the roll of thunder. Vishwakshena is the charioteer and the warrior is Dhananjaya. It is my view that this chariot cannot be vanquished even by the gods and the Asuras. The brave Pandava is delicate, young, brave, and handsome. He is intelligent and skilled. He is wise in war, and truth is his valor. When Nakula emitted a loud roar, what did all the Kauravas do? When the intelligent one advanced, which brave ones surrounded him? Sadeva is like an angry snake with virulent poison. He is invincible in battle. When he advanced against the enemy who countered him, he is noble in his vows. He cannot be assailed. He is modest and unvanquished. When he advanced against Drona, which brave ones surrounded him, he crushed the large army of the Saubira kingdom. He obtained as his queen the desirable princess of Bhoja, who was beautiful in all her limbs. Truthfulness, fortitude, valor, and brahmacharya are always completely vested in him. Yuyudhana is a bull among men. He is strong, he is truthful in his deeds, he is never distressed, he is unvanquished, he is Vasudeva's equal in battle and is regarded as second to Vasudeva. Instructed by Dharmaraja, he has become as brave as his preceptor in deeds. He is Partha's equal in use of weapons, who restrained him when he advanced against Drona. He is supremely brave among the Vrishnis. He is valiant among all archers. He is Parshurama's equal in weapons, fame and valor. He is supreme in truthfulness, fortitude, self-control, valor and brahmacharya. All these are in Satvata, just as the three worlds are in Keshava. Vested with all these qualities, he is incapable of being resisted by the gods. When the great archer advanced, which brave ones surrounded him? The best of the Panchalas is loved by all those who have been born from noble lineages. Uttamoja always performs supreme deeds in battle. He is always engaged in the Dhananjaya's welfare and in supreme injury towards me. He is the equal of Yama. Vaishravana Aditya, the great Indra and Varuna. He is famous as a Maharatha and fought against Drona in the battle. He was prepared to give up his life in that tumult. Which brave ones surrounded him? Drishtaketu was the only one among the Chedis who went to the Pandavas. When he advanced against Drona, who opposed him, the brave Ketuman slew Prince Sudarshana at the other end of the gate to the mountains. When he advanced against Drona, who countered him, the tiger among men was a woman earlier and is conversant with his own good and bad qualities. Yagnasena's son Shikandi is never distressed in battle. He was the reason behind the death of the great soul Devbrata in battle. When he advanced towards Drona, which brave one surrounded him in all the qualities, the brave one surpasses Dhananjaya. His weapons are always truth and brahmacharya. He is Vasudeva's equal in valor and Dhananjaya's equal in strength. He is like the sun in his energy and like Brihaspati in his intelligence. The great soul Abhimanyu is like that with a gaping mouth. When he advanced towards Drona, which brave ones surrounded him? Subhadra's son is the destroyer of enemy heroes. He is young but is as celebrated as the ocean. When he advanced against Drona, what was the state of your mind then? Draupadi's sons are tigers among men. They rushed towards Drona in the battle like rivers towards the sea. Which brave ones repulsed them? Those children gave up all play for 12 years. They observed supreme vows and for the sake of weapons served Bhishma. They were Shatranjaya, Shatradeva, Shatradharma and Manina, the brave sons of Dishtadumya. Sons of Dishtadumya. Dishtadumya means Draupadi's brother. When they advanced against Drona, who opposed him, the Vrishnis looked upon him as the equal of 100 armored ones in battle. When the great archer Chekitana advanced against Drona, who countered him, Anadrishti was the son of Vridhakshema and was never distressed in his soul. He once abducted the prince of Kalinga in a battle, who restrained him when he advanced against Drona. The five brothers from Kekeya are devoted to Dharma and truth is their valor. Their complexion is like fire files, their armors, weapons, and standards are red. Those brave ones are the sons of the Pandavas' mother sister and desire their victory. When they attacked so as to kill Drona, which brave ones surrounded them? The angry kings fought against him for 6 months in Varnabrata, wishing to kill him but could not defeat him. He is the Lord of battle. He is supreme among archers and is brave. He is extremely strong and is unwavering in his aim. When the tiger among men attacked Drona, who countered Yusu in Varanasi, wishing to obtain a wife, the Maharatha used a broad-headed arrows in battle to bring down the son of the king of Kashi from his chariot. Drishtadumya, the great archer, is the counselor of the Parthas. He was created for Drona's death and is engaged in causing injury to Duryodhana. In the battle, he consumed the warriors and shattered the ranks. When he advanced towards Drona, which brave ones restrained him? Shikandi's son Shatradeva was reared in Drupada's lap and is skilled in use of weapons, who restrained his advance against Drona. Ushinara's Maratha son covered the entire earth with the pole of his chariot as if guarding it with the hide of a calf. He is foremost among those who kill the enemy. He performed 10 horse sacrifices, a substitute for all sacrifices, and provided an abundance of food, drink, and dakshina. He protected his subjects as if they were his own sons. The brave one gave away as many cattle as dakshina as there are grains of sand in the waters of the Ganga. No man has accomplished such a deed earlier, nor will any man perform this feat in the future. The gods themselves exclaimed, this is an extremely difficult deed. In the three worlds, with their mobile and immobile objects, we do not see a second person like Ushinara's son who has been born or will be born. Shabya is brave. After that, he will go to places that are not attainable by men of this world, who repulsed the grandson Shabya when he advanced towards Drona like that with a gaping mouth. Virata of Matsya has an army of chariots and is the killer of enemies. When he advanced against Drona in battle, which brave ones surrounded him? Vrikodara's son grew up in a single day. He is immensely strong and powerful. He is a terrible Rakshasa, means Ghatotkaja, and knows the use of Maya, means illusion. He causes great terror among those on my side. He desires the victory of the Parthas and is a thorn for my sons, who restrained the mighty armed Ghatotkaja's advance towards Drona. O Sanjay, there are many others who have their objective in mind. They are prepared to give up their lives in battle. Who can they not vanquish? Their refuge is the tiger among men, the wielder of the Sharanga. He desires the welfare of the Parthas. How can they be defeated? He is infinite, he is the preceptor of the worlds, he is the eternal protector of the worlds, the divine Narayana is the protector in all battles. He is the Lord with the celestial soul. The learned ones speak about his divine deeds. I will recount his deeds with devotion and thus obtain calmness in my own self. Next chapter 10. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, hear about Vasudeva's divine deeds. Govinda performed them, and no other man can ever replicate them. O Sanjaya, when the great soul one was brought up as a child in a family of cowherd, he made the strength of his arms known to the three worlds. When he dwelt in the forest along the Yamuna, he killed the king of horses, who was like the wind in speed and Uchasra was equal in strength. There was a terrible Danava in the form of a bull. He arose among the cow like that. Through still a child, he killed him with his arms. The one with lotus eyes also killed great Asuras like Pralamba, Naraka, Jamba, Pitha, and Meru, who was like a mountain. The immensely energetic Kamsha means Kansha was protected by Jarasandha, but with his valor alone, Krishna killed him and his followers in battle. The brave Shunama, the king of Shurasena, was the leader of an entire Akshoni. The valiant one was the second brother of Kamsha, the king of Bhoja, with Baladeva as his second, Krishna, the slayer of enemies, spiritedly consumed him in a battle with all his soldiers. The Brahmana Rishi Durvasa was extremely prone to rage. He worshipped him with his wife and obtained a boon from him. The lotus eyed and brave one vanquished many kings at the Swayamvara of the daughter of the king of Gandhara. As if they were born horses, the intolerant king were yoked to the wedding chariot and lacerated with whips. The mighty armed Jarasandha was the leader of an entire Akshoni. Janardana thought of a way so that he might be killed by someone else. The brave and powerful king of Chedi was the leader of kings. In the dispute over the Arghya, he was killed like an animal. Shobha, the city of the Daityas, was established in the sky. It was protected by Shalva and was invincible. Through his valor, Madhava brought it down into the ocean. He defeated in battle Anga, Banga, Kalinga, Magadha, Andhaka, Kashi, Koshala, Vatsa, Garga, Karusha, and Pondra. O Sanjaya, Avanti, the south, the mountains, Dasharaka, Kashmiraka, Orshaka, Malaba, Darada were difficult to conquer. Ashvas, Shakas, and Yavanas and their followers arrived from different directions, but Pondarikaksha vanquished them. In earlier times, he penetrated the abode of Makarash, inhabited by aquatic creatures. In the midst of the waters, he vanquished Varuna in battle. Harikesha slew Panchajanya, who resided in the nether regions of Patala and obtained the divine conch shell Panchajanya. Together with Partha, the immensely strong one satisfied Agni in Khandava and obtained the invincible Agneya weapon and Chakra. He rode on Vinata's son and caused terror in Amravati. The brave one brought Parijata from the great Indra's residence. Knowing his valor, Shakra tolerated this. We have not heard of any king who has not been vanquished by Krishna. O Sanjaya, Pandarikaksha performed an extremely wonderful deed in my assembly hall. Who else can do this? Because of that, I have sought refuge with him in devotion. I look upon Krishna as the Lord. I knew everything about it, having witnessed it myself. There is no end to his valor or to his intelligence, O Sanjaya, nor can anyone reach the limit of Harikesha's deeds. Gada, Shamba, Pradyumna, Viduratha, Agabaha, Aniruddha, Sharana, Shamika, Prithu, these and other powerful Vrishni heroes are skilled in stringing. They will station themselves in battle. In the ranks of the Pandava army, they will be summoned by the great souled hero among the Vrishnis, Keshava. It is my view that everything will then confront a great danger where Janardana is. The brave Rama will be there. He wields the plows and wears a garland of wild flowers. His strength is like that of 10,000 elephants. He is like the summit of Kailasha. The Brahmanas describe Vasudeva as the father of everything. O Sanjaya, will he fight for the cause of the sons of Pandu? O son, if Keshava dons his armor for a sake of the Pandavas, there is no one in our army who can withstand him. That means Vasudeva, Janardana, the brave Rama will be there. I think he talks about Janardana and his strength like 10,000 elephants, equal of Bhima and Dhritarashtra. If Keshava dons his armor for the sake of the Pandavas, there is no one in our army who can withstand him. If all the Kurus manage to defeat all the Pandavas for their sake, Vashnaya will take up his supreme weapons, the mighty armed tiger among men, will kill all the kings and the Kauravas in battle and give the earth to the sons of Kunti. Harikesha is the charioteer and Dhananjaya is the warrior in the chariot. Where is the Ratha in our army who will confront them in battle? There is no means whereby the Kurus can be seen to obtain victory. Tell me everything about how the battle continued. Arjuna is Keshava's soul and Krishna is Kiriti's soul. Kiriti means Arjuna. Arjuna is always victorious and Krishna's deeds are eternal. All the qualities are wasted in Keshava beyond measure. Because of his delusion, Duryodhana does not know Krishna Madhava because of his delusion, and because he is driven by destiny, the nose of death is in front of him and he does not know Dashara, Krishna, and Pandava Arjuna. Earlier, those great souled ones were the gods Nara and Narayana. They were a single soul and are seen by men on earth as divided into two. They are famous and invincible. If they wish, they can destroy the army with their minds. But because they are humans, they do not wish that. The destruction of the Yuga is near and the people are deluded. O son, that is the reason for the death of Bhishma and the great soul Drona. Death can never be prevented through brahmacharya, the study of the Vedas, rites, or weapons. Those brave ones were reverted by the worlds. They were skilled in the use of weapons and were invincible in battle. O Sanjay, on hearing that Bhishma and Drona have been slain, why should I remain alive? After learning about the death of Bhishma and Drona, we will now have to seek refuge with Yudhishthira, about whose prosperity we used to be jealous earlier. This destruction of the Kurus has come about because of my deeds, O Sutta. When one is ripe for slaughter, even a blade of grass is like the Vajra. Yudhishthira will obtain unmatched prosperity in this world. This is because of his anger, and the great archers Bhishma and Drona have been brought down. Dharma is naturally on his side. Through humans typically have adharma, destiny is cruel, and it is time for everything to be destroyed. O son, even learned men cannot think of means to counteract it. Everything progress because of destiny. That is my view. Therefore, tell me everything exactly as it happened about that supreme hardship without discarding anything. It cannot be crossed and leads to grievous reflection. Next chapter 11. Sanjay said, I will describe everything to you exactly as I saw it. About how Drona was made to sit down and was brought down by the Pandus and the Sanjayas, having been appointed the commander in the midst of all the soldiers. Bharadwaja's Maharatha's son Drona spoke these words to your son. Means Sanjay also present in that Mahabharat war. After war, Sanjay told everything to Dhritarashtra. Okay. O king, you have shown me great honor by appointing me the commander today. After that, Bull among the Kauravas, the son of the one who goes to the ocean, O king, you will obtain fruits that are commensurate with your action. What desire of yours can I satisfy today? Tell me what you desire. At this, Duryodhana thought and consulted Karna, Dushasana, and the others. He told the invincible preceptor, foremost among victorious ones, if you wish, grant me the boon that you will capture Yudhishthira, foremost among charioteers, alive and bring him before me. On hearing your son's words, the preceptor of the Kurus spoke these words, bringing delight to all the soldiers. The king Kunti's son, whom you wish to be captured, is fortunate, O extremely invincible one. You have only asked for the boon that he should be captured, not what he should be killed. O tiger among men, why did you not desire that he should be killed? O Duryodhana, there is no doubt that you know about what should be done. It is wonderful that Dharma's son should not brave an enmity that like that towards you, O foremost among the Bharata lineage. If you wish to remain alive and protect your own lineage, then after vanquishing the Pandavas in battle, give them a share of a kingdom and act according to fraternal relations. The king who is Kunti's son is fortunate. The intelligent one has been born auspiciously. He is truly Ajatsatru. Even you are affectionate towards him, O descendant of the Bharata lineage. Thus addressed by Drona, your son suddenly displayed the sentiments that always course through him. Even someone like Brihaspati is incapable of controlling his contentance, O king. Therefore, your son joyfully spoke these words, O preceptor. If Kunti's son is killed by you, I will not be able to obtain victory. If Yudhishthira is slain, there is no doubt that the Parthas will slaughter all of us. They are incapable of being killed in battle even by all the immortals. The one among them who is left will destroy us, but he is truthful in his pledges. When he is brought here, we will defeat him again in a gambling match. The Kaunteyas will follow him again to the forest. Thus, my victory will manifest itself for a long time to come. That is the reason I do not desire Dharmaraja's death. Drona was intelligent and was knowledgeable about Artha. Having ascertained his crooked intention, he thought about this for some time and then granted him the boon. Drona replied, if Yudhishthira is not protected by the brave Arjuna in battle, you can think that the eldest Pandava has already been brought under your control, O son. But Partha is incapable of being repulsed in battle, even by Indra and the gods and the Asuras. That is the reason I cannot advance against him. In the knowledge of weapons, there is no doubt that he has been my disciple earlier. He is young and has accomplished many deeds. He is single minded in purpose. He has obtained many weapons from Indra and Rudra, O king. You have also incensed him, and I cannot advance against him. Let Partha be removed from the field of battle by whatever means that are possible, and Dharmaraja will be vanquished. O bull among men, once he has been captured, you think that victory will be yours. Think of means so that his capture is beyond a doubt. I will capture the king who is devoted to truth and dharma. O king, there is no doubt that I will bring him under your control today as long as he is stationed in the battle before me, even for an instant. But let Dhananjaya, Kunti's son, and tiger among men be removed, with Falguna, means Arjuna, present. Partha, Yudhishthira is incapable of being captured in battle, even by Indra and the gods and the Asuras. Sanjay said, after Drona promised the king's capture, your extremely foolish sons, through that he had been already captured. Your son knew that Drona was partial towards the Pandavas. Therefore, to make him stick to the plague, he made the council generally known, O destroyer of enemies, Duryodhana proclaimed among all the soldiers that Pandava would be captured. Next chapter 12. Sanjay said the soldiers heard that Yudhishthira would be captured. They roared like lions, and this mingled with the sounds of their arrows and their conch shells. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, Dharmaraja got to know everything about this through his spies and about what Bharadwaja's son desired to do. He summoned all his brothers and all the soldiers. Dharmaraja spoke these words to Dhananjaya, O tiger among men, you have heard about what Drona wishes to do today. Let all appropriate measures be taken accordingly, O destroyer of enemies. It is true that Drona has taken a plague, but it is not infallible, and everything depends on you, O mighty armed one. Therefore, fight near me today, so that Duryodhana cannot be obtained what he desires from Drona. Arjuna replied, O king, just as I can never act so as to bring about the preceptor's death, I will never forsake you, O Pandava. I would rather give up my life than fight against my preceptor and kill him. O king, Dhritarashtra's son wished to capture you in the battle. He will never accomplish his desire in the world of the living. As long as I am alive, Drona will never be able to capture you, even if the wielder of the Vajra himself, together with the gods and the Daityas, were to try to capture you in battle, they will fall. O Indra among kings, as long as I am alive, you should not be frightened. Drona is foremost among wielder of weapons and among those who wield all weapons. I do not remember having ever uttered a falsehood. I do not remember ever having been vanquished. I do not remember having not fulfilled a plague I have made, even partially. Sanjay said, O great king, conch shells, drums, cymbals, and tambourines were then sounded in the residence of the Pandavas. The great soul Pandavas roared like lions. The fearful tongues of bowstrings and the slapping of palms rose up into heaven. On hearing the conch shells sounded by the great soul Pandavas, your army also caused musical instruments to be played. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the arrays and divisions on your side and theirs slowly advanced towards each other, wishing to fight in the battle. A tumultuous battle commenced between the Pandavas and the Kurus and Drona and the Panchalas, and it made the body hair stand up. O king, through they made every endeavor, the Sanjayas were unable to drive back Drona's army because it was protected by Drona himself. The army and mighty Rathas of your son were unable to drive back the Pandava soldiers because they were protected by Kiriti, means Arjuna, protected. Thus, the respective soldiers seemed to be subdued like blossoms that are asleep in the forests in the night. O king, he was on a golden chariot as radiant as the sun. He shattered the divisions and roamed around amidst the ranks. He was on a single chariot, but he acted so quickly in that battle that the terrified Pandus and Sanjayas thought there were several of him. He released terrible arrows that traveled in every direction. O great king, there was a fright in the army of the Pandavas. He seemed to be like the sun when it was attained midday, radiating 100 rays and quickly drowning out sweat. That is what Drona looked like then. O venerable one, the Pandavas were incapable of glancing towards him in the battle like the Danavas towards the great Indra. When enraged, Bharadwaja's powerful son confounded the soldiers. He swiftly pressed Dhristadyumna's army with his sharp arrows. He seemed to cover and obstruct all the direction and the sky with his arrows. He crushed the army of the Pandus even where Parshata was. Next chapter 13. Sanjay said there was great confusion in the army of the Pandavas. Drona roamed amidst the Pandavas like a fire consuming deadwood. He burned those soldiers as if Agni himself had arisen. On seeing him on the golden chariot in the battle, the Sanjayas trembled. He was swept in continuously stretching the bow. The twang of the bow could be heard like the clap of thunder. Rathas, riders, elephants, gods, and foot soldiers were mangled through the terrible arrows released by his hands. His arrows were like roaring clouds at the end of the summer. Assisted by the wind, they were like a hailstorm and created terror among the enemy. O king, the Lord roamed amidst the soldiers, agitating and terrifying them. He increased the fear that humans have for the foe. His board, decorated with gold, was like clouds tinged with lightning. It was repeatedly seen as he roamed around on a chariot that was like dense clouds. The brave one was truthful, wise, always devoted to Dharma, and extremely terrible. He was like a controller at the end of a yuga, creating a terrible river. Its currents resulted from the power of his intolerance. It was full of large numbers of predators and overflowed with masses of soldiers. The heroes were trees along the banks which were being eaten away. The blood was the water. The chariots were Aedes, elephants and horses were the banks. Armors constituted rafts. The flesh was the mud. The foam was formed out of fat, marrow bones, and excellent headdresses. The battle seemed to be completely covered by a cloud. It was infested with fish in the form of javelins. Men, elephants, and horses flowed along, driven by the force of the arrows. The bodies were like the tops of trees, the arms were like snakes, the heads were like tender fruit, the swords were like fish, the chariots and elephants were like lakes, and it was decorated with many ornaments. The Marathas were hundreds of whirlpools. The dust of the earth was like garlands. In the battle, it was possible for the greatly valiant ones to cross it, but cowards found it difficult to cross. Brave ones were strewn around like snakes. The ones who were alive were like aquatic birds. thorn umbrellas were like gigantic swans, the crowns were like smaller birds, the chakras were tortoise, the clubs were crocodiles, the arrows were smaller fish. It was populated by a large number of terrible wild crows, vultures, and jackals. In that battle, the powerful Drona killed beings with his arrows. O supreme among kings, hundreds of them were conveyed to the world of the ancestors. Hundreds of bodies caused obstructions. The hair constituted moss and weeds. O king, such was the terrible river that began to flow there, and it increased one's fear. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, thus was their army defeated by those on your side. With Yudhishthira at the forefront, all of them attacked Drona for every direction. On seeing them advance, the brave ones on your side wielded from firm bows and attacked them back on every side. The battle that commenced made the body hair stand up. Shakuni was conversant with 100 different kinds of Maya and attacked Sadeva, piercing his charioteer standard and chariot with sharp arrows. However, Madri's son wasn't greatly enraged. He pierced his standard bow, charioteer, and horses with arrows, and then praised him his maternal uncle with 60. At this, Shobala grabs a club and jumped down from his supreme chariot, O king. With that club, he brought down his charioteer from his chariot. O king, thus bereft of his chariot, the immensely strong one grasped a club in his hands. The brave ones began to sport in that battle. Like two mountains with peaks, Drona preached the king of Panchala with 10 arrows worth, was himself preached back in turn by many arrows and preached back again with more than 100 arrows. Bhimsena preached Bibhinshati with 20 sharp arrows, through he was praised. The brave one did not tremble, and it was extraordinary. O great king, Bibhinshati suddenly deprived Bhima of his horses, standard bow, and arrows, and all the soldiers honored this feat. But the brave one could not tolerate the victory of the enemy in battle. With his club, he brought down his charioteer and all the horses. The brave Shalya seemed to be smiling. As if to anger him, he preached Nakula, the beloved son of his sister, with arrows. In the battle, the powerful Nakula brought down his horses, umbrellas, standard, charioteer, and bow, and blew on his conch shell. Dishtaketu separated the many kinds of arrows Kripa released towards him. He then preached Kripa with 70 arrows and then used 3 more to bring down the sign on his standard. Kripa countered him with a great shower of arrows in the fashion in the battle. The Brahmana countered Dishtaketu and fought with him. Satyaki preached Kitavarma between the breasts with an iron arrow. Having preached him, he smiled and preached him with 70 arrows, praising him again with others. But Bhoja preached him with 77 sharp arrows. However, Shini's descendant did not waver like a mountain before a swift wind. Senapati quickly struck Shusharma in his inner organs, and he struck his back in the shoulder joint with a lance. With the immensely valiant Matsyas, Virata attacked Vakartana in the battle, and it was extraordinary. It was terrible manliness on the parts of the son of the Sutta. He countered the soldiers with his straight-tipped arrows. Drupada himself confronted King Bhagdatta, O great king. The battle between the two, skilled in the use of weapons, was wonderful and created terror among beings. O king, in the battle, the valiant Bhurishrava enveloped Yagnasena's Mars son with a shower of arrows. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O lord of the earth, Shikandi was enraged at this and preached Somadatta's son with 90 arrows, making him tremble. The Rakshasas, Hidimba's son, and Alambusha fought an extraordinary battle against each other, wishing to kill each other. They proudly created 100 different kinds of Maya and used Maya against each other. Alambusha is Duryodhana's side and Ghatotkacha was Pandava's side. They despaired as they disappeared as they wandered around, giving a rise to great wonder. Chakitana fought a tremble battle with Anubinda, like that between Bala and the immensely strong Shakra, when the gods and an Asuras fought. O King Lakshmana fought forcibly with Shatradeva like Vishnu in ancient times when he fought against Hiranyaksha. Paurava was on swift horses and his chariot was stocked with every implement. O king, he rode and attacked Subhadra's son, the immensely strong one. Swiftly attacked, desiring to fight Abhimanyu, the destroyer of enemies, fought a great battle with him. Paurava enveloped Subhadra's son with a storm of arrows. Arjuna's son brought down his standard, umbrella, and bow on the ground. Subhadra's son preached Paurava with seven swift arrows. He then preached his horses and charioteer with 5 arrows. The soldiers were delighted at this and he rode repeatedly like a lion. Arjuna's son then quickly affixed an arrow that was certain to kill Paurava, but Hardikeya used two arrows to slash down his bow and arrow. Subhadra's son, the destroyer of enemy heroes, cast aside that shattered bow. He grasped a sharp sword and a shield. He exhibited his own valor and wielded it. As he moved around, he wielded it in front of him and brandished it in the air. He leaped up and shook it. O king, no difference could be distinguished between the sword and the shield. He leaped onto the shaft of Paurava's chariot and suddenly rode. Having ascended onto Paurava's chariot, he grasped him by the side of the hair. He killed the charioteer with a kick and sliced down the standard with his sword. He raised him up like Tarakshya, agitating the water of the ocean and raising up a snake from it. All the kings saw him with his disheveled hair. He looked like an unconscious bull when it has been brought down by a lion. Jayadratha could not tolerate the sight of Paurava having been brought down, afflicted, and without a protector, and in the control of Arjuna's son. He grasped a shield marked with the glance wings of a peacock and decorated with 100 bells and a sword. He rode and jumped down from his chariot. On seeing Sandarbha, Krishna's son, let go of Paurava, he swiftly leaped down from the chariot like a hawk alighting. Spears, lances, and sword were hurled towards him by the enemy, but Krishna's son sliced them down with his sword or countered them with his shield. He displayed the strength of his own arms to the soldiers. The strong one again raised his giant sword and shield. The brave one advanced against Vridhakshatra's heir, who was a sworn enemy of his father's. It was like a tiger advancing against an elephant. They cheerfully advanced and attacked each other, using swords and weapons like a tiger and a lion using teeth and claws to fight. No one could distinguish any difference between those lions among men and the motions of the sword and the shields. When they wielded their swords and brought them down, or When they fended off each other's bows, no special difference could be seen between the weapons. They roamed around in excellent motions, advancing and retreating. The great sword ones looked like mountains with wings. As he extended his swords to strike, Jayadratha struck the shield of Subhadra's illustrious son. The sword struck in the radiant shield, which had plates made out of gold, and the great sword snapped when the king of Sindhu tried to extract it forcefully. On seeing that the sword had been shattered, Jayadratha was instantly seen to retreat 6 steps and climb onto the chariot again. In the battle, Krishna's son restored to his supreme chariot, and all the kings surrounded him from every direction. Arjuna's immensely strong hair raised and shield and sword and rode, glancing towards Jayadratha. Subhadra's son, the destroyer of enemy heroes, then abandoned the king of Sindhu and tormented the soldiers like the son of the earth. In the encounter, Shalya hurled a terrible javelin at him. It was made completely out of iron and was decorated with gold. It was as radiant as the flames of a fire. As it descended, Krishna's son leapt up and catch it like Binata's son grasping a supreme serpent that has fallen from above. He then unsheathed his sword on witnessing the dexterity and spirit of that infinitely energetic one. All the kings roared like lions. Subhadra's son, the destroyer of enemy heroes, then used the valor of his arms to hurl the javelins, radiant with lapis lazuli, back at Shalya. It was like a snake that had just cast off its skin. It reached Shalya's chariot and slew his charioteer and his brought him down from the chariot. Virata, Drupada, Drishtaketu, Yudhishthira, Satyaki, the Kakeyas, Bhima, Drishtadumna, Sikandi, the twins, and the Draupadi's son uttered arrows and diverse roars like lions. They arose and delighted Subhadra's son, who had not retreated, but your sons could not tolerate those signs of victory on the part of the enemy. O great king, they suddenly surrounded him and enveloped him with sharp arrows like clouds pouring down on a mountain. Artayani, the slayer of enemies, wished to go what would bring pleasure to your sons and was enraged because of the overthrow of his charioteer. He attacked Subhadra's son. Next chapter 14. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, you have described to me many wonderful duels. On hearing what you have said, I envy those who possess eyes. So Sanjay was also present in that war. Afterwards, Sanjay told everything to Dhritarashtra. Men in the world will speak of this as wonderful, the fight between the Kurus and the Pandavas, like that between the gods and the Asuras. I am never satisfied on hearing about this supreme battle. Therefore, tell me about the encounter between Artayani and Subhadra's son Abhimanyu. Sanjay said, on seeing that his charioteer had been sent to the regulator, Salya grasped a club that was completely made out of iron. He leapt down from his supreme chariot and roared in anger. He looked like a flaming fire of destruction or death with a staff in his hand. Bhima grasped a mighty club and quickly rushed towards him. Subhadra's son also grasped a gigantic club that was like the Vajra and summoned Shalya to a fight. But Bhima made effort to restrain Subhadra's son. The powerful Bhimsena approached Shalya in that battle and stood immobile like a mountain. The king of Madras saw that immensely strong Bhima and fully advanced towards him. Like a tiger towards an elephant, thousands of trumpets and conch shells were sounded. There were roars like those of lions and the mighty sounds of drums. On seeing those two equal in spirit rush towards each other, there were sounds of applause among hundreds of Pandavas and Kurus, O descendant of the Bharatiya lineage, among all the kings, there is no one other than the Lord of Madra who can withstand Bhimsena's force in battle. There is no warrior in this world. Only king of Madra means Salya can withstand Bhimsena's force in battle. uh, um, there is no warrior in the world other than Brikodara who can withstand the force of the club of the great soul lord of Madra. Bhima's mighty club was tied in hemp and decorated with gold. It caused great delight among the people. When wielded, it seemed to blaze. Salya's beautiful club was also like a giant flash of lightning. When he roamed and whirled it around, they wandered around in circles and lowered their clubs. They roared like bulls, as if with horns lowered. They wielded their clubs and executed circular motions in the encounter. There was no difference between those lions among men. Struck by Bhimsena, Shalya's gigantic club emitted extremely terrible sparks of fire, and the club was shattered. In similar fashion, when struck by the enemy, Bhimsena's club was as resplendent as a tree covered with fireflies during the evening of the monsoon. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the king of Madra hurled a club in the battle. It blazed through the sky and created many fires. Similarly, Bhimsena hurled a club at the enemy of tormented his soldiers like a giant meteor that was falling down. The best of clubs struck each other. They sighted like the maidens of serpents and created fire. They were like giant tigers using claws or giant elephants using tugs. They roamed around, striking each other with clubs. In a short while, struck by clubs, they were covered with blood, and the great soul ones looked like flowering kimshukas. The sounds of the clubs wielded by those lions among men could be heard in all the directions, like that of Shakra's Vajra. The club of the king of Madras struck Bhima on the left and the right, but he did not waver like a mountain that has been struck. Similarly, the immensely strong Bhima's club struck the lord of Madra, but he bore it with patience like a mountain struck by the Vajra. They raised their giant clubs and attacked each other with great force. They repeatedly roamed around, executing circular motions. They approached each other the 8 steps and suddenly attacked each other like elephants wishing to kill each other. With clubs like iron rods, they were severely wounded from the force of each other's clubs. The brave ones simultaneously fell down like shattered poles of Indra. Shalya was deprived of his senses, having been struck by the club and cited repeatedly. O great king, on seeing this, Maratha Kritavarma quickly approached him as he was unconscious and immobile like a serpent. Having been struck by the club, Maratha Kritavarma swiftly lifted the lord of Madra up onto his own chariot and carried him away from the field of battle. The brave Bhima was unconscious like someone who is drunk. However, the mighty armed one raised himself in an instant and could be seen with the club in his hand. Yosan saw that the lord of Madra had retreated. O venerable one, they trembled with their elephants, chariots, infantry, and horses. Those on your side were rooted by the Pandavas who desired victory. They were frightened and fled in different directions like clouds shattered by the wind. The Maratha Pandavas defeated the sons of Dhritarashtra, king. The illustrious ones were radiant as roamed around on the field of battle. They roared furiously like lions and blew on their conch shells in delight. Drums were sounded together with cattle drums and lamborghines. Next chapter 15. Sanjay said, your great army was shattered in the battle by the Pandus. On seeing this, Bishashena exhibited the power of his weapons and began to protect it single-handed. O venerable one, Bishashena released arrows. Bishashena means Karna's son. In the 10 directions, he rode around and preached men, horses, chariots, and elephants. The mighty armed one released thousands of mighty and flaming arrows. They were like the rays of the sun during the summer. O great king, Rathas and riders were oppressed by them and suddenly fell down on the ground like trees broken by the wind. O king, in the battle, masses of horses, masses of chariots, and masses of elephants were brought down in every direction in hundreds and thousands. On seeing him fearlessly roam around in that battle alone, all the kings surrounded him and attacked him together. Nakula's son Shatanika attacked Vrishashena, means Karna's son, and pierced him with 10 iron arrows and penetrated the inner organs. At this, Karna's son Vrishashena separated his bow and brought down his standards, wishing to protect their brother. Draupadi's other son rushed towards him. They made Karna's son disappear because of the shower of their arrows. Rathas, with Drona's son at the forefront, advanced towards them. O great king, they quickly enveloped Draupadi's Maratha sons with many types of arrows like clouds on a mountain. Out of affection towards their sons, the Pandavas quickly countered them, together with warriors from the Panchalas, Kekyas, Matsyas, and Sinjayas. The battle that raged between those on your side and the sons of Pandu was fearful and tumultuous and made the body stand up. Like that between the gods and the Danavas, the Kurus and the Pandavas fought well. Excited by anger, they glanced towards each other, having earlier engendered the animosity towards each other. Because of that wrath, those infinite energetic ones seem to be like the supreme of birds and the serpents battling in the sky. With Bhima, Karna, Kripa, Drona, Drona's son, Parshata, and Satyaki, the field of battle was resplendent, as if the sons of destruction has arisen. The immensely strong ones forcibly fought in that battle, seeking to kill each other like Bali of the Danavas against the gods. Yudhishthira's army let out a mighty roar and began to slaughter your soldiers, driven the Marathas away. On seeing that the army was routed and surely oppressed by the enemy, Drona said, O brave ones, do not run away. Drona possessed red horses. He was angry. He was like an elephant with 4 tusks. He penetrated the Pandava army and attacked Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira pierced him with sharp arrows tipped with heron feathers, but Drona separated his bow and quickly rushed against him. The illustrious Kumara from the Panchalas was protecting his wheels and countered the advancing Drona. Like that shoreline against the lord of the rivers, on seeing Drona bull among the Brahmanas, thus repulsed by Kumara, delighted leonine roars and sounds of applause were heard. In that great battle, Kumara angrily pierced Drona in the chest with an arrow and repeatedly roared like a lion. But in that encounter, the immensely strong Drona repulsed Kumara, having overcome all fatigue. He displaced the dexterity of his hands and released many thousands of arrows. The brave one, supreme among Brahmanas, devoted to the conduct of Aryas and well versed in the use of weapons, slew Kumara, the protector of the chariot wheels. He penetrated the amethyst of the army and roamed around in all directions. Bharadwaja's son Drona, but among Rathas was a protector of your soldiers. He praised Sikandi with 12 arrows, Uttamaja with 20, Nakula with 5, Sahadeva with 7, Yudhishthira with 12, each of Draupadi's son with 3, Satyaki with 5, and Matsya with 10. In the battle, he agitated the warriors and rushed against them. With a desire to capture him, he advanced towards Yudhishthira, Kunti's son. O king, Maratha Yugandhara repulsed Bharadwaja's son, who was enraged like the ocean agitated by a storm. Having pierced Yudhishthira with might-tipped arrows, he brought Yugandhara down from the chariot with broad-headed arrows. Birata, Drupada, and Kakya, Satyaki, Shivi, Vyagadatta from Panchala, the valiant Simasena, and many others sought to protect Yudhishthira. They showered many arrows and obstructed his path. O king, Vyugradatta from Panchala pierced Drona with 50 sharp arrows, and the soldiers roared. Maratha Shimashena swiftly pierced Drona, rigid in his bows, and suddenly laughed out in delight. Drona dilated his eyes and rubbed the string of his bow. He slapped his palms loudly and attacked. The powerful one used broad-headed arrows to sever the heads adorned with earrings of Shimashena and Brigadatta from their bodies. He used to shower of arrows to torment the Maratha Pandavas and approached Yudhishthira like that of destroyer. O king, a loud sound arose in Yudhishthira's army among all the warriors when the one who was rigid in his bows approached him. On witnessing Drona's valor, this is what the soldiers said: "The king has been slain. The king, who is Dhritarashtra's son, will be successful today in the battle. He will return to us and to Dhritarashtra's son." While your soldiers were thus conversing, Maratha Kaunteya swiftly arrived. His chariot roared. He had created a terrible river. The water was blood, and the charioteer were eddies. It was full of the bodies and bones of brave ones, and it conveyed beings to the world of the dead. Mass of arrows were the giant form, and it was infested with fish in the form of javelins. Having routed the Kurus, Pandava quickly crossed that river. Kriti means Arjuna suddenly attacked Drona's army and surrounded and confounded it with a giant net of arrows. The illustrious Kaunteya quickly afflicted arrows and shot them incessantly, so that no one could distinguish a gap between these. O great king, the directions, the sky, the firmaments, and the earth disappeared covered by the arrows. O king, nothing could be seen in the field of the battle then. The wielder of Gandiva created a great darkness with his arrows. With the sun about to set, dust covered everything. Enemy could no longer be distinguished from well-wisher. Drona, Duryodhana, and the other announced a withdrawal, knowing that the enemy was extremely terrified and no longer had its mind on the fight. Bibhutsu means Arjuna slowly withdrew his own soldiers. The Pandus, Sringyas, and Panchalas praised Partha with pleasant words, like rishis praising the sun. Having vanquished the enemy, Dhananjaya returned to his own camp behind all the other soldiers. He was happy and was with Keshava. Pandu's son was radiant on his colorful chariot, which was decorated with excellent and expensive emerald crystals, golds, diamonds, and quartz. He was as radiant as the moon in the sky, adorned with stars. Next section, next chapter, Shampakshada Vada Parva.